Rivers of Living Water. I am so honored that you have chosen to join me today. Today we're going to talk about success. Success in life is something we all desire, and there's many different levels of success because you see success means different things to different people. So I'm going to share with you today a story that will help us to understand how we look at things has a lot to do with our success and how well we're really doing. So the story goes that one day there was a very wealthy family. He had some boys, and one of the boys was getting up to the age of getting ready to start make his own life decisions. So the father decided, I'm going to take my son. We're going to go to a less fortunate family and spend a few days with them. So the father called up a family that he knew, and he told them what he wanted to do, and they said, sure, come on, we'd love to have you with us. We'd love to share our life with you. So the father told his son what they were going to do. They loaded up the car and drove out into the country to these people's home. Well, during the couple days, they had a great time. They worked the farm, they fed the animals, they spent time with the family, they ate with them. They had a really great time. The day came and they were leaving and said goodbye to the family, and on the way home they went. The father said, well, I'm going to ask my son what he has learned. See if he has learned the values that I wanted him to learn. See if he has learned what's important in life. So as they were traveling, the father began to ask the son, he said, well, son, did you have a good time? The son said, yes, sir, I surely did. That was much fun seeing how other people live and how they do things. And the father said, well, son, let me ask you a question. What did you learn from what we did? The boy sat back in the car seat for a moment and he began to think. And he said, well, father, I realize that that family is very lucky. The father thought for a moment because that really wasn't the response he expected to hear. He thought that the boy was going to say how lucky he was and how they had been blessed to have so many things. But yet the boy had said how lucky the poor family was. The father thought for a moment and said, well, son, why don't you explain that to me? Why do you think that? He said, well, Dad, it goes like this. He said, we're very fortunate, but you see in our family, there's only 4 of us. So I only have one sister to play with. The family that we were helping, there's 14 of them. They had lots of kids to play with. They could play all kind of games. They could do all wonderful things. And we had a great time doing it. And the father said, well, is there anything else? And the boy said, well, sure, Dad. He said, you know, if we want some food, we go to the store and we buy the food. But yet while we were on the farm, they grew all their food. When they were ready for some food, they went out and picked it. It was all fresh and all good. Didn't you enjoy the food? And the father said, yes, absolutely, I did enjoy the food. The father said, well, son, is there anything else? He said, well, Dad, he said, you know, we have one dog, which is great, and I love our dog. But he said they had all kind of animals. They had 4 or 5 dogs, they had cows, they had chickens, they had goats, they had many different animals. They got to feed the animals, they got to pet the animals, they got eggs from the chicken, they had a bunch of chickens and they laid eggs every day. They're very fortunate. We don't have that. The father began to think and he said, my son may have seen some things that I didn't really think about. So the father asked, said, well, son, is there anything else? And the boy said, well, Dad, he said, you know, we're fortunate. We have a pool. We can go swimming in the pool. But you have to take care of the pool. You have to put chemicals in the pool. There's a lot that you have to do to be able to enjoy the pool. And the father said, well, what about the poor family? They didn't have a pool. And the son said, nope, Dad, you're right. But they did have a river running through the back of their property. They could go down to that river anytime they wanted, go swimming in the river. They could get water out of the river. They could fish in the river. We can't fish in our pool. There's no fish in there. They are really lucky. And the father said, well, son, you're correct about that. The father asked again because the boy was on a roll, said, what else had you learned? And the boy said, well, Dad, he said, we have a porch in the back. He said, we have a light on the back porch, and it's nice to go out there and sit. He said, when we went outside behind the poor people's house, they had a field as far as your eyes could see. And the stars lit up the porch. It was the starlight they were enjoying. We can't even see the stars from where we are. And I thought that was very neat. The father said, well, let me keep asking. He said, anything else? And the boy said, well, yes, Dad. He said, we have to have a fence around our yard to keep people from coming in and taking things that we don't want them to take. And the dad said, well, what about the poor people? And the boy said, well, Dad, he said, they don't need a fence. I asked him, I said, how do you keep people from coming in and taking your chickens or taking your vegetables out of the field? And they said, well, we each neighbor look out for the other one. We know who should be out here, and if we ever happen to see anybody that doesn't belong here, we're going to ask them what they're doing here. So, Dad, they have it very lucky. He said, well, son, how would you sum it all up? The boy sat back for a moment and thought. He said, Dad, those poor people sure are lucky. They have so many things that we don't have. Well, you see, my friend, the dad is the one that actually learned the lesson that day, because he thought he was going to go out and show his son how fortunate they were by how blessed they were and what they had. But yet, in the midst of what was happening, the young boy learned that you can be happy with whatever you have. Success doesn't mean you have to have all of these things in your life. Matter of fact, many times people that have a lot of things always want something else, because it's not the things that make you happy. It's having joy with those you love. It's having happiness in your life. It's being satisfied with what you have. And that's what the young boy saw in these people. They were happy playing with each other. They were happy spending time together as a family. They were happy and thankful for all the animals they had been blessed with. So you see, my friend, success depends on how you look at things. It doesn't matter today whether you have a lot or you have a little. What's important that you are happy with what you have, that you are satisfied with where you are, and that you have taken time to enjoy everything that you've been given. From your family, from the things that you have. And today you may say, well, hey, I don't have a lot of things. My friend, you don't have to have a lot of things. What you have to do is be satisfied with what you have. For when you are satisfied with what you have, you will find a special joy and a special happiness, and you won't worry about always going out and trying to get something different. Just be satisfied with what you've been given. Enjoy the people that are in your life. Enjoy those that you love, and enjoy those things that are around about you. And when you do, you will find true happiness in life. And let's face it, isn't that what we're searching for? It's not the things. How many people that have a lot of money and have a lot of things and end up not being happy, end up never enjoying life? So you see, it's not the things, it's not the money. So what it is, we need to be happy with what we have. So my friend, today, wherever you are, whatever you have, take a moment, be thankful for what you have. Love those that are around about you, and be happy for what you have in your life. Don't worry about, oh, I must get here, I must get there. Let's be happy today and enjoy what we have. For if you do, you will find your life will be much, much better. Thank you for listening to Layers of Living Water this week. please make sure you subscribe and share the channel with some of your friends. I know there's many people out there that need some hope. They need some encouragement. And that's what this channel is all about. So share it with your friends. I would greatly appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and make sure you come back next week.